for the men.
But I want you to answer. Yeah, I need a woman to answer.
But
Absolutely.
I definitely feel like men these days can be contradictory in what they want. I feel like
Okay.
they want modern women with traditional values. But then even it goes back to what I was saying about valuing each other. So you want the traditional values, a woman that can cook, clean, be feminine and submissive and
Right.
all of those things. But
Uh-oh.
you also want her to be able to work and provide and do those things as well.
Okay.
And when we mention we have these feminine qualities and we want to be traditional,
Right.
it's like, well, I can cook myself, I can clean myself. So
Correct.
do you value women or not? What do you want?
Correct.
It's kind of confusing because the men are contradicting themselves.
Okay.
So,
Men, we are contradicting ourselves. That's what she said. Okay, go.
It's a balance. It's both. My parents are still married. They've been married 42 years. Came up out of a traditional household. I've seen my dad stand behind the stove. I done seen my mama stand behind a lawnmower. One thing my pops told me, he was in the military. He did 30 years active duty. And they wrote it out, and my parents don't know that they told me this at different times because of the balance. My dad said he stayed with my mom because when he was out training, doing army stuff and all that away from home, he never had to worry about my mom having another man in the house. My mom said similar about my dad going to work and when she went to work, because she also worked, raised me and my brother, all that type of stuff. She never had to worry about my dad having other women, things of that nature. So it's not a contradiction, it's a balance. We're looking for both because a lot of women that say they can do these feminine things, they can do these traditional things. But initially, when we started the conversation, it started with the modern aspect of education. I can work, I can do it. We're aware of that. There's never been a time in our history as black folks where black women didn't work. We're accustomed to that as men. That doesn't bother us. I can only speak for myself and the brothers that I know that think like me. I know we're talking about in general versus the outliers and things like that.
Uh-huh.
But it's so many women that lead with money, I can do bad by myself. Then it's like, okay, why am I here? Because a lot of women that want traditional men, but they're non-traditional women. They say they can do these things, but they're not doing them. So that's the argument that a lot of men have. Because guess what? When something go down at night, it's only one of us that's expected to go down those steps and see what's going on, and that's the man. And nobody bats an eye at that, but it's almost like pulling teeth to ask a woman to cook for you. They almost make it akin to slavery a lot of times. But when something go bump in the night, I'm expected to get out of bed no matter how much money I make. Regardless, I still have to be in my role as a man. And the things that we're asking from our women as men, a lot of times we're not getting. Or, and the other thing I'm gonna say, and then I'll pass the mic, a lot of the stuff that black women are doing, they never clarify what type of black man they're doing it for. Because a lot of bum dudes out there getting the traditional woman, and the dudes that are actually doing the heavy lifting, doing their role as a man, aren't getting that traditional balance back from the women.